Alright, welcome.
Left into the alley.
Wrong break.
Accelerate.
We're off to a great start.
And now speed reverse.
So I did
Back into
record
the
this
car and
the other
accelerate
day,
away.
and as you can tell, I didn't beat this mission. Crap. That was bad. Yeah, it was like 40 minutes of not accomplishing this. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to re-record it.
Rolling.
Like, you guys are missing much. Couple crashes. Whole lot of couple crashes.
Left into the alley. Accelerate.
Jeez.
Now speed reverse. Back into the car and accelerate away.
I felt like I was getting pretty decent at one point. I was hoping that I'd be able to beat this in just a few
Swerve through the
attempts.
traffic.
We'll see. Oh, crap.
Left into the alley. Into
I
the
could tell I
trash
wasn't
can.
turning fast enough. Jeez. This car is about gone already.
To the truck. Another
Physics!
vehicle ready.
Oh, joy. So last weekend I recorded that video shooting the water balloons.
Left into the alley. Accelerate.
Sitting there staring at the alley, just ran right into that car.
Back into the car and accelerate
Anyways,
away.
boy, we had some technical issues on there.
Swerve through the traffic.
Man, sometimes I probably shouldn't record. Ah, crap. I don't even know what I'm doing. Probably shouldn't record after work, apparently. I am stupidly tired. Started a new position last week and still getting used to it. But yeah, that first joke where I
Left into the alley. Accelerate.
missed the target completely and then draw a new target around where I shot, so it looks like I got a bullseye. Well, one thing, I wish I had set up the camera in a better position so you could actually see me while I was shooting instead of just see the barrel for a moment in the frame. But live and learn, whatever. But funny thing is, so I aimed right at the target that I had drawn, and then I moved the gun to the left. But then when I got out there, it actually shot too low, and you couldn't see it on the camera I had set up. So I walked back about 15 feet or so and shot it again to a spot where I could more clearly see it on camera.
Swerve through the traffic.
That wasn't so bad. That was just a minor little issue.
Into the trash cans.
Slowed down too much. The major issue, well,
From
one,
the transporter. To the
oh
truck.
crap. Jeez. We're good. We're golden.
Into the
Oh
trash
yeah.
cans.
I already erased the video clip, so I can't check it to see if I. Oh crap! I need to go on this side of them. So I can't check it to see if I did do this, but I wrote in the video that there was supposed to be a clip of me dropping the bow and pulling out the gun because I couldn't hit the balloon.
Rolling.
That might have actually been on the clip of me
Left into the alley.
holding the bow. I honestly don't know. And like I said, I've already erased the clip, so I
Back
can't
into
go
the
through
car
it and
and
check.
accelerate away.
But man, my editing was really bad on that.
Swerve
It was
through
supposed to
the
be like
traffic.
so dramatic, like tight close-ups of me holding the bow and then holding the arrow and then zoom out to show this tiny little bow. And like there's just having my arm in the shot, I had to pull the camera out enough to that it's pretty obvious I'm holding a small bow. And then I'm just kind of like weirdly holding the arrow for a long time.
Left into the
Man.
alley. Accelerate.
heavy, well, not even heavy editing, but any level of editing when you're tired. Apparently that's not my my greatest skill. But the worst was actually a shot that, unfortunately, I couldn't even have a failed shot in the video. There was supposed to be a clip of, I put up like a solo cup and I put a balloon on it. And the idea was like a GoPro can be submerged underwater for a certain amount of time. So my idea was, and you can record at 100 frames a second. So I was going to, I'm hitting way too much brake, put the GoPro in the bottom of the cup, put a balloon over it, then shoot the balloon and use that 100 frames a second to slow it down so that it rained down a bit more slowly. It should have looked really cool. I tried doing it with the bow first. I swear I shot over that thing. Oh no. I had like all green too. I shot over that thing like 8 times. I was aiming so low and those arrows were still flying way over it. I got really frustrated and just pulled out my gun. And I was a lot closer to the cup than what I would normally shoot at with my gun, and since I was on the ground, it was a weird angle. So I was still shooting way over the cup, which was really frustrating. Like, come on, I feel like I'm aiming right at this thing and I'm just flying right over it. So out of frustration, I aimed really low and I shot right through the cup and shot my camera. I'd say thankfully, but the camera's ruined. But I clipped the corner of it, but it shifted the body a little bit. And so, and it wouldn't shut off, like it just stayed frozen on. I corrupted the save file, or the video file, so I couldn't have the footage from the GoPro. Yeah, thankfully it was a GoPro, since out of my cameras that was definitely the cheapest. Not that I'm thrilled about the waste of money there. But, so that file was corrupted, so like, well, that's fine. I had my phone set up high, watching the whole thing, so I started watching through that footage. But one of the times when I went to, slow down way too much there. One of the times when I went to pick up the arrows, all of a sudden the camera froze. And then when it started playing again, oh crap. When it started playing again, the cup was already on its side. So like seriously, so one save file is corrupted, the other one just froze during everything that happened. So I shot my camera and I don't even have the footage.
Make the jump.
Oh, bad aim, bad aim, bad
And cut.
I like that one. That was better than what you wanted. Come on. Oh. Trying to think of anything else went wrong with that shot.
Action.
Or I should say that video.
Left into the alley. Accelerate. Now speed reverse. Back into the car and accelerate away.
I suppose that's enough going wrong. Poor editing, poor camera position, shooting one camera, and forgetting to turn a camera on potentially. Oh boy. Don't know what that was.
And rolling.
Oh boy. I am tired
Left into
today.
the alley.
Holy
Accelerate.
crap, work beat the crap out of me.
Now speed reverse. Back into the car and accelerate away.
Here's something random. I was glancing through my Facebook memories,
Through the traffic.
and there was one from, I don't even know how many years ago, but it was at a previous job.
Into the trash cans.
and it was talking about just the amount of rumors I had about me. I remember what some of the rumors had to do with, vaguely, or at least I assume I do. I don't know for sure because Sucker was like 9 years ago or something like that, 8 or 9 years ago. I think some of the rumors had to do with a girl I was interested in at the time. Somehow it went from, wow, I think Tony likes her, to suddenly everyone believed that I was, that her and I were going out. I think that was a rumor. But then there were like other rumors of like any girl I talked to, apparently we were going out. Like I was reading through the comments on it, and there was one comment saying it's kind of fun going up to to the various women at the shop because of rumors be like, well, apparently we dated. Actually, one of those people who there is rumors about us dating is actually one of the people who's going to be watching this video. Potentially the only person who watched this video, because her and her husband are my most dedicated followers. The one rumor I wish I could remember more details of, apparently there was a rumor about me being part of a cult. But anytime I question people on it, like no one could give any details beyond, I heard you were in a cult. I vaguely remember that one. There's a guy I used to work with named Paul who always gave me a hard time. Apparently, amongst this avalanche of rumors, I sat down at a break table near him. He looked at me and just said, "This is why you don't talk to people." So, maybe that's good advice. I don't have nearly as many rumors at my new job. I've been working there for almost 3 years. I'm sure I have some rumors, but I tend to keep to myself more than I did when I was a young whippersnapper, all full of life.
And rolling. Action. Left into the alley.
Actually, scared a friend talking like that. I made some joke. There was like a camera crew at my job, and I need to remember to look for that video. Basically, just my bosses wanted to show off how well they were defending against COVID. And look at that, we're spraying Lysol on surfaces, and our workers are wearing masks. Oh my word! And it counted as landing on the truck, I think. That's amazing. Anyways, the guy stood beside me with that camera for like a couple minutes, just like filming me as I was doing a job I was rather not fond of. Holy crap, that turned fast. So I made a joke on Facebook that I had put on the proper face of a good employee, a soulless man with dead eyes or something like that. I'm too short on time.
Make the jump. Cut. Too slow.
If you give me one more second, I would have made it. Then like a day or two later, I made some joke about, someone said something about, you smile all the time. I'm like, well, I used to. That was before life had beaten me down or something like that. I can't remember what I said. But an old friend of mine who I haven't seen in,
Left into the alley.
jeez, I haven't seen her in like a decade. But we kept up on social media. She sends me a message. She's like, do I need to be worried about you? I'm like, what? No, I always talk like this.
Swerve through the traffic. Left into the alley. Into the trash cans.
Crap.
Up the transporter. To the truck.
To the truck. You stay on those wheels.
Into the trash cans.
I'm so close to doing this.
Swerve through the traffic.
Crap. I knew I corrected too much.
Back into the car and accelerate away.
All right, baby, you got this. You got this.
Left into the alley. Into the trash cans.
Oh, I don't think I hit it. Oh, that's fine if I can get to the end and land on the.
To the truck.
Dude, style points, come on. That would have been an amazing one for the final shot.
Rolling. And action. Left into the alley. Accelerate. And now speed reverse. Back into the car and accelerate away.
I almost failed that one. I was watching the pedestrians run.
Swerve through the traffic. Left into the alley. Into the trash cans. Up the transporter. To the truck.
Oh. Come on, come on.
Into the trash
Ah,
cans.
too tight.
Swerve through the traffic. Onto the sidewalk. Left into the alley.
Alright, we're good. We got this.
Make the jump.
Okay, line her up and... Oh, I got a good feeling. Oh, come on!
And cut.
Oh! I just needed to be a tiny bit over. Crap. My word, I'm so close. I just want to beat this stupid mission.
Rolling. Action. Left into the alley. Accelerate.
What scares me is this isn't even
Now
the,
speed
oops,
reverse.
way too
Back
early.
into the car and
This
accelerate
isn't
away.
even the one I remember having problems with. I vaguely remember this movie. I remember the first movie, obviously. That's, I mean, like any game, the first level is the one you become the most familiar with because that's what you end up playing the most frequently.
Up the transporter. To the truck.
Plus, I like Guy Ritchie movies, so that's obviously an homage to Guy Ritchie. I remember the second one because it was an obvious Dukes of Hazzard parody. This one I vaguely remember, but the main one that I remember after this was it's kind of like a James Bond parody or homage or whatever you want to call it. And the reason I remember that one, there's like one specific like mountain road mission. I remember having so much trouble with that one. Oh, I think that's good. No, stay on. Crap. Oh, I counted. Whew. I was trying to hit the brake and I forgot that it turned into reverse and I thought I screwed it up. Holy crap, I did it. Oh. But yeah, it makes me nervous. Oh wait, let's see what this is.
250cc engines on the tuk-tuks and giving them 500s.
Oh jeez, the
Be able to
tuk-tuk one.
get 0 to 60 in about 6 in these. But they flip pretty easy as it is, so this makes them worse. And the roll cages get a good workout.
I legitimately don't remember this. I remember there being a mission where I had to drive them. I don't remember if this one's easy or hard. The last movie kind of surprised me, the Dukes of Hazzard one, because the first one was so hard. I thought the rest of it was going to be a nightmare.
This chase is quite unusual because
But
we're
it
using
actually, after the
three-wheel
first one, wasn't
cabs
nearly
called
as difficult.
tuk-tuks. But that still means I need to stay close to the lead to make the chase look as realistic as possible.
But yeah, it makes me nervous that I'm having this much trouble, and I'm not even to the I'm not even to the mission that I basically remember because of how much trouble I had with it. So,
Scene 35.
yeehaw!
Chase the tuk-tuk.
Chase the duck. Holy crap!
Cut. Stay with them.
I wasn't expecting it to turn that fast. Wow, I don't need e-brake, that's for sure.
Take two. Chase the tuk-tuk. Hit boxes.
I
Close
hit
to the
boxes.
car.
I don't think I got close enough.
Left into alley. Getting close. Hit the boxes. Hit boxes.
Jeez. How many boxes you guys got? Holy, what did I hit? Oh, man. Son? So there's this old movie,
Take three.
well, I mean, it's not super old. It's like early
Chase the
90s.
tuk-tuk.
It's called Space Mutiny. Or I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Although Space Mutiny is fantastic. I think that's actually like 80s. Oh, crap. Well, I got close to the car. I'm thinking of... crap, I can't remember the name of it.
Rolling.
Hold on.
Chase the tuk-tuk.
All right, the movie I was trying to think of is... Jeez, I did that again. Is Future War. And that one is good because... I thought of it because there's a ton of cardboard boxes in that movie. Like, I
Chase the
swear,
tuk-tuk.
they ran out of money and just like, all right,
Hit boxes.
excuse me.
Close to the
Like,
car.
all right, we'll just do every scene we can with cardboard boxes. So,
Left into alley. Getting close.
you know, they're
Hit the boxes.
scene taking place at like a shipping yard with boxes, and a scene taking place in a warehouse with boxes, and a scene taking place in like some other place that has boxes. Holy crap. That movie is amazing because it's about these like cyborgs from the future
Rolling.
who don't have thumbs, so they can't build machines for themselves. So if I remember correctly, they build a time traveler. Well, they enslave
Close to the
humans,
car.
which they had to like build technology to keep this human subservient. But they needed guards, so I don't know if they built a time machine themselves or if they had the humans build a time machine, but they went back and captured a bunch of dinosaurs to use as prison
Chase the
guards.
tuk-tuk.
At this point, there's like a couple things like, wait a second, there's a few things that you had to build
Close to the
here,
car.
but supposedly you couldn't build anything because you don't have thumbs. So, having some inconsistencies here. But anyways, one of the prisoners escapes and he shows up in modern times, which was like mid-90s LA. And
Chase the tuk-tuk.
Cyborg shows up and like a couple dinosaurs show up. And he runs into
Close to the
a
car.
woman who... Crap. This thing turns so sharp. Runs into a woman who had a troubled past. She used to run with like a Latino gang until she decided to leave that life of crime behind and become a nun. But when the dinosaurs show up to kill discount Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Close to the car.
why didn't you turn? I got close to the car. I'm doing awful on this. This thing controls like garbage. She has to get in touch with her old gang, which they grabbed like every it has to be like friends of the cast or the crew. I mean, so it's like, oh, here's a bunch of like people of Latino descent. Put them in like flannel shirts, like button-up shirts, because yeah, I saw a gang movie once, and that's how Latinos dressed. And then bandanas. Make sure everyone has bandanas. And the hero, I called him Discount Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I remember watching it, just looking at him like, man, he looks so much like Van Damme. And so I looked him up, and he was actually like Van Damme's stunt double, and kind of like takeover guy. Like Van Damme does a movie, but doesn't want to do the sequel, and or they can't afford him for the sequel because it's so low budget. Like, oh, grab this other guy. He kind of looks like Van Damme, and he can do martial arts. So the guy literally is just Discount Van Damme. The other movie I accidentally mentioned, Space Mutiny. That's actually a Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan favorite. It's absolutely awful. It's so amazing. It's like, I don't know. Apparently, Earth you can't inhabit it anymore. I'm sure we did something horrible. So everyone's in the space station. They're floating through space and occasionally going out and checking planets for potential new home. And so this entourage is showing up with like a scientist aboard one of the ships, and they get attacked on the way in. And the reason I bring up this attack is on the camera, in the bridge, it's all like, it's showing the attack in vector graphics. If you don't know what vector graphics are, it's like when you see those old videos or even some old video games, like some of the old Atari games, when it's shapes just made out of like the lines of white or usually like green lines forming like the 3D shapes. That's vector graphics. There actually was an entire console built around that. I think it was called the Vectron or something like that. Actually came with, like it was attached to its own TV basically. As far as the Atari, I think the most well-known example would probably be Battlezone, the tank game. Anyways, when the hero gets to the bridge, he's like, oh, I heard you had footage of the attack. I'd like to see that. So they sit him down in a chair, and they start playing the vector graphics. And it's like, what is this? But, this is like late 80s, early 90s when that movie was made, I want to say. And so at the time, like, Arnold's huge, Stallone is huge, other men of considerable muscle are huge. So, here's a guy who's in pretty good shape and, like, vaguely handsome. Like, oh, he can be the next big thing, and put him in a movie. And although, well, obviously they exaggerate for the sake of humor, they kind of make fun of the fact that the love interest looks older than the hero. They exaggerated big time, making it sound like he's going after, like, someone the age of his mother. But I decided to look him up because I was curious. Oh, jeez. I was curious how much older than him she actually was. And come to find out that by the time that movie was made, they had been married for a handful of years. And he was actually like 3 years older than she was. But she very definitely looks like she's at least a little bit older than him. It's like, wow, well, oh well. One of you aged better than the other. Jeez. I am not getting the controls of this stupid thing down very well. I need to watch more Mystery Science Theater 3000. That show is fantastic.
Chase the tuk-tuk.
I watched one episode of the new series.
boxes.
It wasn't bad. It just, I don't know. It's just not the same. I might watch it some more eventually.
Left into Al.
Man, I saw the new kid on stage. Cause like Riff Tracks, they occasionally do like anniversary specials, where if they can, they'll gather some of their old Mystery Science Theater 3000 castmates. And so I have one of those DVDs, and
Close to the car.
the new kid was on there with them. He did fine on there. He did fine with them. Funny kid.
Hit the
It
boxes.
just, I don't know. The show's just not the same. I'm gonna have to end this pretty soon here. I think I'm just over a half hour now. But there was one thing that kind of made me laugh
Rolling.
when I popped in that DVD of the Riff Tracks live anniversary thing.
Hit boxes. Close to the car.
Well, first of all, I was surprised because, yeah, I watch a lot of Mystery Science Theater 3000 DVDs, but I didn't think about the fact that all those were like in the
Cut. Where are you going?
in the 80s and 90s, and so now I'm watching something that was like filmed in like 2017 or something. I don't remember exactly. So suddenly these people are a lot older than I remember. So at first it was kind of a shock, like, oh wow, I didn't think about how old some of the stuff I was watching really was.
And rolling.
But the other thing,
Chase the tuk-tuk.
I actually like I didn't start bawling or anything, but I was like, I felt like I was starting to get a little misty-eyed of just like the love of seeing like my beloved childhood show, seeing all the cast members together on stage for the first time in I don't know how long.
Hit boxes.
There was just something magical about seeing it. I'm just saying, like, seriously, I got a little dab in the eye over this. But it was really fun seeing them. Great people. Great people. I'm still playing this. Well, at least I beat one level. This is going to be my last attempt. I'm not making much progress here. I just noticed that I had an ad for the first movie on the back of my tuk-tuk.
Hit boxes. Close to the car.
That's a little better.
Left into alley. Getting close.
Oh boy.
Hit the boxes.
I hit the...
Cut. You
I
lost.
hit the boxes. Alright, we're gonna end on that pathetic note. Well, at least I beat one mission, so this movie has taken a long time. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, my dear friend. Until next time. Actually, before I go, I want to point out one thing. Thankfully, the Elgato has this feature where you can play without recording, and then if you see something that you want to record, you can go back. Like it'll maintain either from when you started it or from when you ended your last recording. So you can scroll back through your timeline and select when you want to start recording. Which is really good because I forgot to record this whole video, and if I didn't have that feature, boy, that would have been a whole lot of wasted time. Alright, until next time, friends.